people. Happy Saturday. We're here to go over Deb's house, and we are going to welcome in our regular co-host from the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel, James. Hello.
Hey, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Show my girls some love so we can get monetized and quit our regular jobs.
Y'all, we want you to also subscribe to James's channel. We've been ping-ponging back and forth with shows. Most of his shows were not airing. Now they are all coming back between the months of September and December. And I'm in like over 5 shows. We have Love and Marriage Huntsville will eventually return. We've got Bell Collective coming. We've got Salt Lake City that just now made a comeback. He also has Love and Marriage Huntsville that is coming. The Braxtons is going to be airing in a week and a half. He has a lot of shows coming on television. So subscribe to his channel. I will be there for all of his lives. Love and Marriage Huntsville, after this season or preseason, whatever they're doing, I'm done. But I'm still going to be in the comments, though. I'm going to still be in the comments every week. So it's basically like I'll still be here. I just won't be dragging the cast for filth. That's all. But let's get into Deb's house, y'all. This episode is titled Rocky Road Like the Ice Cream. Shout out to Rocky, a.k.a. artist name Fake Bitches Hero. Glad to see Rocky back. Glad to see she's doing well. There's a lot that we're going to get into with this episode. Where it starts is the women learn that they are going to go on Hot 97, which is one of the most well-known radio stations. They had legends like Wendy Williams, Charlemagne, you name it. Lots of big DJs have been there, and they do a lot for music in the community. So I thought that was a nice opportunity that these ladies got to go on the show. Now with Drewski there, I'm sure it was at a time too many people may not have been listening, but still, they got to go on Hot 97, which was dope. Miss Deb seems to have saved. I don't know if you noticed this from last season. Like last season with the rappers, they was doing stuff like this every episode. This season, they're just now starting to like, oh, go sing outside or go do this. Like, I don't know if the budget was low, but I'm happy to see them do it. But let's get into what happened at Hot 97. So the ladies are going to be interviewed by Drewski, who many of you probably remember from when he was cheating on his current wife with Bianca Bonney seasons ago. I will never let Drewski live that down. I just will not. And I still need to know what qualifies him to comment on the talent of others. Because Wendy had that it factor for journalism. DJ Self makes artists, promotes things, even though he fumbled Cardi B. Charlemagne, who's on that station as well for the Breakfast Club, he was a rapper. That's how he got his start. So I'm just like, Drewski, what qualifies you to do this? But he does interview them, and everybody sang. Of course, he made them sing, just like the women last season freestyle when they were there. And everybody did really well. The only person who did not sing well, in my opinion, was Audrey. Audrey is the one who is the granddaughter of a legend whose name right now is slipping my mind, and I hate that for myself. But Audrey basically has family members in the industry and things like that. She's definitely driven. She's definitely hungry. She's definitely talented. I just feel like the melodies and songs that she sings, I don't care for. And when it comes time to do it, I think she focuses so hard that she sometimes gets a little pitchy. But I love Audrey. I've liked her on the show. She's kind of kept the peace. Ashley, Amber, and Kim did beautifully singing. Ashley's voice is angelic to me, so when I hear her voice, it's pretty. I don't mind it. Kind of, if she were to become an artist, I would want her to do music like Summer Walker, for those who may be familiar with her. So I didn't mind it. Ashley did well. Kim really sang. This was the first time, in my opinion, that she really sang the whole season. Because Kim, you could tell that she was holding back on the songs that she was singing and the stuff that she was doing. And I don't like Kim, but she is talented. And I'm just like, why the fuck are you here if you're not going to put in no effort, girl? Like, and I do think that, what was his name? Cisco? He was right. Kim's ego is bigger than where she's at.
Well, we gonna come to it, but she said something that made me feel like, okay, I understand why you're doing what you're doing. It now makes sense. You'll get to it.
It makes sense, but it ain't okay, baby girl. It's is not okay.
No, it ain't.
Because I think I know what you're talking about. But Amber's then asked about, because they're interviewing and everybody did really well. I would say the people who did the best in terms of the interview portion was Ashley.
Yes.
I felt like Kim did well because it's like, oh, now you want to tell your fucking story. But I felt like Kim was fighting. You could see that Kim was fighting to not be combative with that man in that interview. She held it together, but you could tell that she was fighting. With Ashley, it just seemed to be like effortless with answering the questions, being natural. You could tell that she was just being her and being genuine, which is the best thing to do when you're put on the spot. Because yourself and your personality and who you are will shine through when you're nervous and worried about everything else. But that was my opinion. How'd you feel about the interview portions and the songs?
With the interview, I thought they all kind of handled it, especially with some of it being their first interview ever. I felt like they handled it real well. It was, I think Debs should have left the room because I could tell that made, especially Ashley, made her a little bit nervous to kind of like have Deb there, like listening to what the answers were and everything. I kind of wanted Deb to leave the room. And then also, I'm trying to think, there was something that he asked about, them being mothers and stuff like that. And I thought they all answered that question really well, like saying that they had, family that supported them. And, because that could be a difficult subject because I thought I watched something with Angie Song. You remember R&B divas back in the day? And you remember when Angie Song's daughter said, I want you to raise my kids while I go out there and sing and all this kind of stuff. It's always these kind of situations where I'm like, when you have kids and you have this talent, like, what do? Do you go out there and chase your dreams or do you just get a regular job and, raise your kids? So I love that they always bring that up because there's a lot of people who have children who have talent that never really get seen. So I always commend people who have kids that fight for that chance. Now, whether or not that's actually going to suffice well when you make it, I don't know. But I always like when parents take that chance.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're speaking about Ashley. She was very relatable with that. When I was doing my live music reviews, I still do music reactions for artists. I just charge for it now because I've come up a little bit. Thank you, Lord. But when I was doing my music reviews, some of the best music I would hear specifically from singers and rappers was from single parents or parents in general, even those who are not. King Creole. I have a bunch of artists, Nene, that I still talk to that are just doing the best that they can for their kids, but they're also still chasing their dreams. So I really appreciated the interview segment because we got to learn a little bit about each of the women. This season, the first 5 episodes have been nothing but foolish 9th grade bullshit. And I'm not accusing every woman of that. I'm not. And James, it's true. I'm not accusing every woman of that. Ashley has avoided the drama for the most part and only speaks when spoken to her. Somebody play with her. I feel like Amber, she has autism. But for the most part, she has not started drama. She's emotional, and people decided to talk about that. But who was it? The Tara girl, the bald Tara. She didn't have drama and sang well. But pretty much the rest of the cast. And I'm sorry, Audrey. I would never want to put Audrey in the space of drama because she's been house mama. But the rest of the women who were on this cast were problematic from episode one. And then they was arguing over stupid shit. When the reality of the situation is every bitch that went home early on, with the exception of Devin and the bald Tara, y'all all played into the bullshit. And it took away from us seeing your talent. Best example is Dacia or Deja, however you pronounce her name, Miss Acornhead. Nobody is going to remember her for shit other than being problematic, a pot stirrer, and difficult. And we're going to come back to her too this episode. We coming back to her. Because I got something for that bitch. The way that Dacia acted in this episode is a life lesson for every person, every high schooler, anybody who has kids. Dacia proved to us that misery loves company. And you seen the ghost?
No, I felt something breathe on me. I was like, the hell? Because I'm home alone. So I'm like,
oh, Jesus. Now, my family from New Orleans, don't do that. I'm gonna fly out
No,
there and come in your house and start sticking stuff in
no, because
dogs.
I was like, no, because as I said, I'm not expecting anybody. My man is off with his family right now, so I'm like, the hell's going on in this house? And I'm on crutches, so
James is like, I can't run too fast.
look,
He
look,
said,
I'm a
"Oh
so
God."
person. Look, yeah. I'm
Oh
sorry, y'all know. I'm glad I'm live too, because y'all can be my eyes and see some shit. Look,
he said,
he
y'all, my
said,
eyes and ears. I tell you, something if something come, I'm gonna be fighting with you screen. Right hook, James, right hook.
yeah, I'm gonna get to swinging.
Oh Lord. But moving forward, Amber is asked about her struggles, and they were like, have you struggled? Have you ever wanted to quit? Amber was like, no, I haven't wanted to quit. And I'm like, Amber,
I said, baby,
that's a bold-faced lie, Amber. And I
man,
love
come on now.
Amber. I just do.
We
But
not gonna we not gonna act like you wasn't on that bed, holler
face in pillow.
in the pillow. Talk about, I don't want to make this choice. I don't want to take
I
people
said,
out.
Amber, you
I'd
from
rather
South Central,
eliminate
baby. Stop
myself.
it.
And I'm just
Stop it.
like,
You,
girl.
you from South
I felt
Central.
like,
You
you
cannot.
know what's funny? I didn't remember that that's who that was in the moment. Because you know how you really trying to make your notes and stuff? I didn't realize that's who that was. So when she said it, I was like, let me, wait a minute, hold on. Let me rewind this back because I know she didn't just say that. And then
And
I pressed play.
Miss Deb publicly called her out, which if you're on a live interview on the radio, don't do that. Check her afterward because I did understand what Amber was trying to do. You don't
Yeah,
want to let them see you sweat. And she can't win. First, Miss Deb tells her, don't let nobody see that you're struggling. And she's autistic, so she does process a little bit differently.
right,
Then she decides to do that. It's like, I'm not going to talk about all my struggles and be talking about I'm autistic and all of this. So she's just like, no. And honestly, if I was an artist and being interviewed and they was like, is there anything like bad happening in your life right now or any struggles? No, because if you're going to protect your privacy and your
right.
peace, I think that you should do that from the very fucking beginning. If you're going to do anything public, you just either protect your peace or be open. That's it. And so I'm
Well,
kind of like, okay, Miss Deb, I got what you were saying, but she hasn't even won the competition, so it is what it is. But Amber does correct herself and says that she has had hiccups. But just because she has hiccups doesn't mean she'll quit. If she wanted to quit, she would have left, which is true. But she also struggled in her, she also brought up her struggles with depression as it relates to being somebody who is on the spectrum, high functioning or not, autistic. And she says that the depression that comes with being different, as well as what she experiences just in her day to day, has made her feel like she wants to unalive herself. That is something that probably will resonate with a lot of people. I think more people struggle with that than sometimes they often want to admit. I also have noticed just from working in mental health, and anybody can look at statistics and see that a lot of times when people unalive themselves, people are surprised or didn't see it coming and things of that nature. But you never know what someone's going through, Dacia. So that's why you shouldn't just attack someone or accuse someone of using their disability as a way to advance in life or a competition or any of that, because their struggles are every day. When the cameras are there, when the cameras are not there, regardless on what Amber does, she will have to live with the fact that she is on the spectrum. So that's why I didn't like the treatment of her earlier this season, because you could tell that it was something that weighed heavy on her. So that's my little opinion. But how did you feel about Amber's interview?
Um, it's one of those things where do I want her to go the full Monique Slaughter route and completely expose all of the mental health struggles, or do I want her to kind of take a different approach and just be silent? I go back and forth with that because you don't want someone to tell your story. So it's best you get ahead of everything. But in the flip side, then once you put it out there, you can never take it back. And then you're judged when something does happen to you. Like I just did when I made fun of her crying. It's like one of those things where you're putting yourself on national TV and then you're exposing it. And yes, you're trying to get ahead of it, but at the end of the day, it's, it's going to be a double-edged sword a lot of the time, because that's all people are going to think about, regardless if you have talent. And she can really sing. She has a beautiful voice. But the thing about it is that there's certain things that people cannot look past, and a lot of people have a hard time separating, the person from the art, and making sure that that's the first thing that, comes to their mind is, oh my gosh, she's a beautiful singer, but oh my gosh, she just, broke down and crying out of nowhere. It's like some people just can't look past certain things. And so it's kind of like, I don't know what I want her to do or what I want her to say in this instance, because I feel like no matter what she does, if she doesn't say anything or if she says everything, it's going to cut her regardless.
I think it just depends on what Amber wants. If she's okay with being known as the high functioning autistic singer, then, who cares? Lean into that, and people will probably eventually just notice your art for your art. But if you don't want to be known for it, then don't mention it. I do not think she's ashamed of it, but I do see a lot of ignorance just out there in general on like the comments on social media on like the WeTV page and stuff. Like, a lot of people think they know about autism because they hear about it more often than they used to, because it has become more prevalent in the community, but people don't understand autism, if y'all get what I'm trying
No,
to
they
say.
don't. And it's because there's so many different forms of it now versus when it was just known as just
It's definitely something that's come far in
yeah.
terms of diagnosis and things of those nature. It's also a fact that women are people who are oftentimes not diagnosed when they're supposed to and end up diagnosed later in life, like in their 30s and beyond. We don't know her story. What I do know, though, is regardless of what people know and what they look at, don't judge people for having something that they can't control. To judge someone
Right.
and accuse them of having an advantage based on a disability is like, it's
And the reason why I brought up Monique Slaughter is because I can remember heavily about her being honest about her mental health struggles and everything, and then her being, shunned for it. And people always using it as like a weapon against her when she really was struggling. And
yeah.
I just remember like her being such a beautiful singer, but people couldn't look past that because all people were focused on was the drama aspect and the fact that,
I think that's another good thing you bring up, though, because mental health, developmental disabilities, any of that is not an excuse to act the way Monique's acted on TV also. So it's one of those things where some people look at her that way because of how she acted, but people with disabilities, mental health struggles, they're still people. You can be
yeah.
depressed and also be volatile at the same time. But Amber did okay. She sings beautifully, so I still love her.
Yeah, she has a beautiful voice.
Miss Deb does say the next interview is Kim. I'm gonna try and be nice, y'all. I'm gonna try and be nice because I'm just here to review the show and give my opinion because I love music, I love singers, and all of these things. And these ladies are doing something that I would never do. I'm gonna keep my singing to the shower. You feel me? So I respect each and every one of them for doing it, but Kim. And let me tell you why. After this episode, I've lost all respect for Kim. I think she's a joke. And I can see why she sang backup and has not progressed. Now, Miss Deb announces while they're at Hot 97 that she found Kim on TikTok, which we know that she found all of these women on TikTok. Now, it's not just that she found all the women on TikTok. Kim was a woman that Miss Deb found on TikTok that did not want to apply for the show. She was not interested in it. This is where we learned that from the jump, from the game, Kim has been a gospel singer. And honestly, Kim's voice aligns with gospel music.
Yes.
Kim would be perfect for gospel, but I think she may have ruined that for herself, and I'll get to that later. I will get to that later. But Kim, it does make sense. Now stuff about Kim is starting to make sense. Because I'm like, how would a lady at her age, no shade, find a show like this where season 1 was rappers of all things? Like, Kim sent Miss Deb on the internet a song, or herself singing a song that's a gospel song that is Miss Deb's favorite song. And because of that, that got Miss Deb. Miss Deb is not a label exec or A&R that I heavily respect. In terms of like her professionalism and what she can do, and in terms of her resume, she keep listing these same 4 artists. Gucci, Waka, Nicki, and there's like, and Johnny. And I'm like, they all found you and had help from you, but they all attained success, different label deals, and things of that nature. They all had an issue with Miss Deb at one point. They included Johnny Glaze and including half of the judges and people on the show. So I'm just looking at it like, Miss Deb, what are you doing? Why would you bring her on here just because she sang a song that you liked? Like anybody can sing a song that you like. I don't understand.
Well,
And Drewski was also surprised because he's like, you have a TikTok at your age?
I said, oh.
Let me tell you this. I don't like Kim. I think she's got a nasty attitude and did more harm than good to herself on the show. What I will say is we're not going to really age shame her, unless it's my statement, as I've been saying the whole time. 45 looking like 65. And I really do have an aunt that is 67 years old that look younger than Kim. So that's all I'm saying. But outside of that, like, I don't think that her age is something that should stop her from being successful. The woman can sing. And if the woman can sing, then I say let her sing. However, you want to go on the R&B right now at a time where you're competing with Summer Walker's BBL, Ari Lennox, who has one of the most talented voices, I think personally, of R&B artists right now, but doesn't get the notoriety because she's not out here half naked all the time with a BBL. You know, like there's a lot of things that come with the industry in terms of looking sexy, in terms of looking young, in terms of being youthful. And Drewski made the good point. Like, it is difficult to push through when you are older. That is why American Idol, for our millennials, American Idol don't let you do it if you are over 30. There's a reason why. And Drewski made the good point. It is harder to teach an old dog new tricks. And Kim is an old dog. Nothing wrong with it. She could sing. She's a big dog. But it's harder to teach an old dog new tricks. And the whole time we've seen Kim on the show, she's never seen the error in her ways. She's never been accountable for shit that she's done. Miss Deb is noticeably offended and almost snapped on Drewski too, because we know Miss Deb is up there with Kim in age. But I also think it's good Drewski pointed that out, because why do you have this lady on here competing against these other girls when you know the reality of it is after us watching her on the show, we don't like her enough to buy her record. And I'm not interested in hearing Kim on anything that's not a gospel ballad. I'm just not.
Well, I'm going to say this, because that being exposed kind of made it seem like that's where she gets her ego from. And that's where she gets her notoriety. And that's why she feels so self-entitled in this experience and not feel like this is a competition for her, because she was never intended to compete. So now my question is for Deb, then what do you have her here for? So do you have her here and she's going to be the shoo-in win and the other ladies are just in the background for WeTV's purposes? Like, that's where my mind is going now that has been exposed. Because to me, that's not fair. That's not right. If you saw potential in this lady, then you needed to separate it and work with her out of this show spotlight and do something different with her and have someone else who wants this to actually do this. I'm not saying Kim does not want this experience, but what I'm saying is that being exposed made so much more sense of why she feels the way she does and why she acts like she's safe all the time. It's because in reality, she is. If Deb didn't have her here to compete and she was never intended to compete, then therefore she's guaranteed something one way or another.
And we're gonna get into that further towards the end because of what happened to Kim, because I'm pissed off with Miss Deb more than Kim. And I'm gonna say it at the end.
Yeah, I know you will.
If let's say James has written books, he's an author, right? Let's say a New York Times, whatever publisher that's like guaranteed every person that's come with them to write a book, a New York Times bestseller. Let's say they hit James up in the middle of this live. He's going to cut his camera off. He's going to answer the phone and he's going to go out there and see about that opportunity so that he has no regret. So I will say, even though I don't like Kim's attitude and I don't believe she has behaved like the elder that she is amongst these women, I'm not mad at her for still coming there, even though it's clearly something that wasn't fully in her. Because when you really love something, whether it's writing a book, drawing a picture, or singing a song or spitting a bar, you're going to give it anything you can a shot. that will relate to you doing what you love. So I can't fault her for that part, but she gonna get red for filth in a moment. So we're gonna come back to her. I'm sorry to interrupt you. She
No, you were fine because I was done with my point anyway. But I'm just saying that's crazy to me. And when we get to the last, yes, it's yeah.
That's why
Deb,
Miss Deb shows or every show she go on end up canceled. Growing up hip hop was doing good until Miss Deb got there, canceled. Then Love and Hip Hop, Miss Deb was on there. They had to leave that before it got canceled. Like there's a lot with Miss Deb that I think when it comes
she's
to
just
success, she's good
inauthentic.
with her money, but I think that's the extent of it.
Yeah. And you can be good with your money, just but be inauthentic in business. Like
A
to
lot of people
me,
will look at her money and what she has and assume that that means that she can make them successful.
but you got to
And that's
look at more than just the money and more than just the, prospects. Look at what she had to do to get to where she is. Look at where, the other artists are in comparison to, other artists around them. Like you got to do more research than just knowing that she has a name. And honestly, I didn't know nothing about her till she got on Love and Hip Hop. So, that just goes to show realistically where she showcased who she was because I knew nothing about her.
I did only because uh, Jasmine, so what me and James both went to high school with, as well as a friend we went to high school with named Leona, they loved Gucci Mane when he first came out.
Hmm.
Back when we were all in high school. And that was back in a time, y'all, where yes, I still have my subscription to the Source, Vibe, Jet. We were still magazine kids a little bit, but I remember reading something, an article, and Gucci Man had like mentioned Miss Deb in it because it was like a big thing. It was very tumultuous. His beef with Rocca and separating from Deb, it was like the thing. So that's the
Hmm.
only reason I knew of her. I was surprised to hear that she had anything to do with Nicki and all of that, honestly. And
Hmm.
wasn't with them for very long. But I did feel like before we move entirely forward, they made the interview about Kim once age was mentioned because Deb felt personally triggered as well. And this goes back to James's point that she probably should have allowed the women to interview on their own to see what they would do without her there. Because once they're established artists, someone's not always going to be there with them for an interview. Just saying. But either way, good job. I also would have liked Miss Deb to like maybe promote an HBCU's college radio station. I'm partnered with some of them, the college radio people, and get a little nice little kind of check here and there for referring artists to them that they can play on their stations and stuff. Like go to HBCUs. That's how artists like Rashida, Gucci Mane, that's how a lot of them came up performing at them. Like put those ladies on radio stations there, put them there for performances. It'll probably be cheaper, give them the experience they need without putting them in a situation where they could potentially embarrass themselves in an interview on the Breakfast Club before they're known, even though they all did well. But we do learn that Kim went through some stuff in her life through the interview as well. She talks about how she has two kids, 23 and 25 or something like that. She is estranged from her daughters. They do not want a relationship with her. Sounds like she said that somebody in her family turned her children against her. Nobody can turn your kids against you but you, especially when your kids are that big and grown. So this is what I mean by Kim. I empathize with you, and I said this last week, and y'all thought I was mean for it. Baby girl, everybody got a sad fucking story. Everybody's been somewhere. I don't care if you've been to jail. I've been to jail. So I don't care. It's not a big deal. I don't care. Everybody has a sad story. Everybody's been through something. So I'm looking at Kim like, it makes sense why you're a little like the way you are, a little harder, but I would be pissed if my mom was like, me and my daughter don't have a relationship. It's because this person turned her against me. Where's the accountability? Come on now. But we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it. After the interview, Ashley and the ladies go back to the house. And the reason I say Ashley and the ladies went back to the house is because Ashley did the Lord's work in some boho braids that's long as hell that are lasting for the whole show because braids have not looked toe up once. But she did the Lord's work and asked Kim, and she did it in a smart way. So I didn't know that Deb had you on TikTok, so you that talented. She just had to send you here. I said, yes, Ashley. I love a good old stanky, messy conversation. That's necessary. because she was doing the Lord's work. And the reason I say that is because these bitches sat up here, Miss Kim and Dacia, messy ass Tara E, former crackhead with all them kids. Let me tell y'all, she sat there, them three, and were so upset because they felt like Amber was going to use her disability to win. Kim and Dacia were the main people in the house saying that they thought that Amber was a plant, when it's looking like Kim's ass is a fucking plant. You didn't want to be here. You don't do this genre of music. You've had an attitude the whole time you're here. You act fucking entitled with a nasty ego. Your eyes don't open and you insist on wearing the biggest eyelashes, which has stressed me out for the entire season. And you want to be on here bullying other people like they plants and they don't really want it, when they actually found this opportunity, did the work to apply, participated in it.
Mm-hmm.
Kim, fuck you and your couch. That's how I feel. That's genuinely how I feel. Like, I don't know her, so of course it's not a real lady thing, but just based on what I've seen on the show, fuck you and your couch. Because why would you keep that a secret as you stirred the pot and literally had women here miserable? You participated in bullying people and that catty bullshit. I don't get it.
It's like, wow. If projecting had a definition, like that's why I said that was messed up. And I felt like they should have never revealed that. Kim should have took, and it seemed like she was gonna take that shit to her grave. It really was like she wasn't gonna say not a damn thing because she knew that they were gonna be able to call that out now. Because that's not right and that isn't fair. And Deb, once again, what are you doing?
Because this is the second season you've done this shit. Because the first season you had an artist that you actually managed,
right,
that you had to send home because everybody was going to leave. So now you force somebody to sneak in, and we're going to come back to it because it's just too much happened with Kim and Deb that I feel like we probably both want to read them for Phil, so I'm gonna wait to the end.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid. You see, I'm holding my tongue because it's like this is not right. Like WeTV.
Stop it.
I'm calling out WeTV. I'm not. You can call out Deb and Kim. I'm calling out WeTV because this is some bullshit.
It is. It absolutely is. WeTV needs to realize that you have shows outside of Love After Lockup and Mama June, because it seems like WeTV is doing what OWN is doing. And every network does this to a certain extent. Like, I feel like Bravo right now puts so much effort into the Housewives and Below Deck. But I feel like OWN puts too much effort into shows like Love and Marriage Huntsville. And WeTV puts way too much effort into Love After Lockup and Mama June's Family Crisis. There's a lot of other shows on there that could do better, such as this one that people like. This show, I've had some of the highest views of all the shows I've covered through the summer. So I'm like, people are clearly watching the show and like it, but Ms. Deb needs to not be allowed to choose the women on the show. That's the problem. Ms. Deb should be surprised and minimally involved.
I don't think that she doesn't need to be a part of the casting. I do think she needs to have somewhat of a hand in it, but she doesn't get to. I think there should be stipulations and there should be common ground amongst the contestants you pick. I don't think it's fair for you that you saw somebody on TikTok who doesn't sing the genre of music and felt that she would be a good fit. And then her experience coming on the show is that she is being rude, volatile, and acting as if she's better than the other singers in there. Meanwhile, knowing that you were the reason and the cause of her being here from a different standpoint, that she didn't have to go through the ramifications like the other women. That's what makes it unfair. So that's why I said WeTV, y'all need to put a hand in, making sure that everyone gets the same treatment, meaning that everyone has to audition. Everyone has to showcase their talent. And if she happens to choose someone from TikTok, that person needs to come and do the audition process like everybody else. That's not fair for one person to just be in the experience, collect a check from this. Meanwhile, everyone else had to go through hell.
Preach.
That's just what I'm saying.
It's kind of the difference in some ways between a college student doing the work and research to write a paper compared to copy and pasting your assignment details in Chat GPT and letting it do it for you. Like, There is
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I got one even better. Or to give honorary doctorate degrees to celebrities just because of their years of experience when they didn't go through
And
the
then
years of
snatch her
education.
back when they get locked up for all the baby oil.
Right, exactly. So that's what we're saying. Like, no, we want people to actually have done the work. Now, I'm not saying with some of the honorary doctorates that some people didn't deserve them because maybe so, but those people have the wherewithal to go to college and actually get the degree, is what I am saying, as opposed to someone getting student loans and doing it.
I'm gonna tell you this: what I'm going through right now, getting my master's degree in psychology. I'll tell y'all this right here. Anybody getting an honorary doctorate, it's a fucking insult. Unless you have truly done philanthropic work related to the field of study that you are getting that doctorate in. If you have done great things for people in art, fine. But if you have not done much and haven't done the work that we have to do as students achieving a greater education, being that those that will lead to you being a clinician or an expert in your field, students such as myself that work my ass off on YouTube every week, work full time, am also a wife and a full-time graduate student. So I always get annoyed when I see that people got an honorary doctorate. I'll be like, really? And I'm over here.
I think the most insulted one of all that I have seen is Sheree Whitfield.
Does she have one?
Yes. Yes. She finna go research right now. I know my best friend.
Break her filth if she comes back next season.
Yeah, she has a. Yeah, she got an honorary doctorate. She sure. I don't know what it's for, but yeah.
Not finances or passion.
Your face when I said that, you were like, "I know you lying."
No, I really did not know that, y'all.
Make you mad, don't it?
Sheree get on my nerves. Sheree gets on my nerves. But okay, moving forward, because that just pissed me off. So let's get back to Ashley, our angelic singing, boho braid wearing mama. I love boho braids too. I'm trying to debate too, y'all, because I'm always in braids, twists, crochets. I love a natural style. It's why I have edges. But I'm trying to figure out. I'm going to Cancun, y'all, and I'm trying to figure out, do I want to do bohos? Because I know I'm going to be in the ocean doing crazy stuff, bent over, all sorts of crazy things. Or do I want just keep it simple? Yes, absolutely. The marriage is marriaging for a reason. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my hair. I don't know what I want to do with my hair, but I'm going to figure out my hair. We'll get there. But back to Ashley. So Kim says to Ashley that she ain't know nothing about the show. I ain't know nothing about this show, girl. Gospel's what I love to do. Gospel's all I sing. I said, oh, there we go. You sitting up here starting shit with people so you don't have to talk about the real. You don't want to do R&B, and nothing's wrong with it because your voice is meant for gospel. But the way that you acted on this show, Kim, I don't know. We're going to see. But she pretty much makes it known that Deb pulled her into it. She didn't know what to do with the show. She was told to just come in. You know, I think Deb was like, just come audition. I'll make sure you pass through. And, you know, it could be a good thing for you. Deb, if you want to manage an artist and she is sending you music, then just manage her. Get your contract, sign for your 10 to 25%, whatever the hell you want, and do it that way. But I think Deb did it this way because she know, like, I don't think anybody in the gospel industry would take Deb seriously. I just don't. I
guarantee she get that back in.
Especially with her public support of our current president. I can't see the black ass gospel community. I just can't.
Which makes me wonder, did Kim shoot herself in the foot?
She did.
Knowing that if there's a potential, I mean, I'm sure somebody in the gospel industry would work with her and would probably get her, you know, in the footsteps, you know, even on the back of Deb. But at the same time, would it be somebody that we all know?
All I know is it is irresponsible and egregious of Deb Antony to take a woman that's dream is to do gospel, that has sang primarily backup for neo soul and gospel artists, it's kind of insulting to take her onto this show and promise her something that you have no experience with. The gospel industry is entirely different from the traditional industry. I would say
Mhm.
gospel and country have like their own like strict rules. Hip hop, you can have a rapper from anywhere, look like anything with any background.
Right.
Same thing with rock and roll, alternative, hell, metal artists. You got Willow Smith, Jada. You got all sorts of people who you wouldn't think to do genres doing it. But with gospel and country, they do not play. The way they tried to come for Shabuzi, the way they tried to come for Beyonce, not acknowledge Kate Michelle, like they have these specific things. So I'm looking at it crazy. But to get back on a happier track, Ashley talks about her kids. Um, Again, I think Ashley is highly relatable, and I think that they waited too late to show not just Ashley's background, but a lot of the women's background and what they have going on. And it seems like the women who did show it were sent home. Like Tara, I can't remember, I think it was Tara M, the bald Tara. She
Mhm.
came out and was like, I am a proud lesbian woman. I do not like men. I'm also bald. I'm doing everything against the norm of what a woman would be expected to do. And she's darker complected. We got to know her. Then they sent her home. Same thing with Devin. We learned about her family and her growing up and how that was. And then they sent her home. So I'm like, y'all better not be telling us about Ashley's family and stuff just to send her home, which we know doesn't happen this episode. But I feel like that's what the editors have been doing with the
Mhm.
show. But her son was cute. He was really, really cute. And I respect her statement about, regardless, I'm not gonna say no to the daddy. If he want to come pick his kid up, come get him. Because I be needing a break and I be needing time to myself and all of that. I wish more women had that attitude because you'd help yourself out and your kid benefits.
I just think a lot of women just, the reason why they don't do that is because they want control of the situation a lot of the time. And as long as they have the kid, they have the control. And see, and like Ian was saying, you don't need control, baby. You want to be in charge. That's the whole point.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you, I'm a stickler for women giving kids to their dads. I really am. I'm a stickler for it because my family, the men did do that. Like my uncle had his kids, my grandfather had us. Like the men always were with the kids. Like there was never a time, even when they were with the mother, I saw my cousins a lot more than anything because of my uncles having them. Same thing with, my dad. He tried to be as involved as he could with us, like as much as he was allowed to. So I just feel like, you know, it's really weird when girls like give men like stipulation, no, you can't see your son on this, so it has to be around my schedule. It's like,
Yeah. But I also think it seemed like Ashley's moved on and that helps. When you've truly moved on from the
yes,
man, it's much easier to have that attitude. So I wish I would have shared more of this. I actually think she's a decent example of a lot of positive things. I would have loved if they take like, and I'm gonna talk about it more at the end, but I would have. I don't think Deb's house should come back for a season 3 competition with Deb as a person who is promising them something. I'm gonna get to that when we introduce Rocky into the episode. I feel like she should take maybe after like a 3rd season of Deb's house, take a couple fan favorites or ones that people liked and like follow their lives trying to come up in the industry or something. She could create a whole new concept of love and hip hop or something, but I just don't trust Deb as the person to help anybody's career at all. Haven't for a while. But we also then get to learn more about Audrey. She works full time. She's also in school full time and she's doing the show. So kudos to her. I'm going to say, in comparison to Kim, Ashley and Audrey are the example of women who make no excuse to do something that matters to them. These are the people that will become successful in life, if not at music, at something else. The reason why is because they both handled conflict with grace and like women. Ashley and Audrey, both of them. Separate from that, they make no excuse. A lot of people say, I got 2 kids, that's too much for me. Or I got kids, I can't do that. Or I can't leave because I got to be in school. They are finding a way to balance everything. And they are an example of putting your dream first while still keeping your day job, which I greatly respect. So kudos to you. I don't know if y'all are watching, but kudos to y'all. I know Ashley did watch our last couple episodes. I had some comments from her in the last couple episodes. So shout out to Ashley. We thank you for supporting a small Black channel. I'm just a small Black girl from Oakland, California. You feel me? And James is just a young Black man from Oakland, California. You feel me? We
Right.
just try to do what we can. So I always appreciate when people who have a bigger platform than us take the time to acknowledge and support our opinions, even when, because I haven't always critiqued her perfectly, but I like when people still support us. So good for that. Kim, I'm not doing it with you, not today. But Rocky from season 1 comes into the show. But Kim, I'm calling more bullshit on Kim and Miss Deb. Kim, you just said to us a couple minutes before in the scene, I ain't know nothing about this show when Ashley was asking you about it. But you know who Rocky is? You do gospel, you knew nothing about this show, but you know who Rocky is. What lie do I follow, Kim? Which one? Because it's all a lie. Which lie do I follow? I'm tired of Kim's bullshit. But while chatting with the ladies, because Rocky got to know everyone, and I like Rocky, but I'm not gonna lie, y'all. A lot of my subscribers are from Philly. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to Naya and a few others. But I have a lot of subscribers. I'll be looking at my analytics on YouTube in Philadelphia, Delaware, New York City. So shout out to all of y'all. I love Philly. I just do. I love the way they speak. I love their attitude. I love it all. And I like how Rocky came and was just lighter. You can tell that the show probably did do something positive for her. So that was nice to see. But Kim tells her, we're talking about things they've been through. And I was surprised to see that Ashley been to jail, Kim been to jail, Rocky been to jail. All right, jailbirds, I hear you. I've been too. It was a long time ago, but I'm not going back. I'm not going back. Jail scared the hell out of me. I'm not going back. But why did you stab your baby daddy, Kim? I need background. Was it like,
it's kind of like she said so casually? It was kind of like
this is not a casual thing.
Yeah, that's not something that's normal. Like no one just goes and just stabs
the
father. Yeah, what did he do?
Like, were you being abused?
Yeah,
do your daughters talk to the baby daddy? Because they're not talking to you. Is that why? I need more. Then she mentioned something about prison and supposed to been getting out at the time of the show filming after doing 20 years. I'm like, wait a second. Somebody find this lady.
I missed that. I missed that. I did not know she did 20 years in prison?
She said she went to jail, it seems like, for stabbing her baby daddy. But then she said in her confessional, yeah, it's a lot I've been through. I'm lucky. I'm supposed to have been just now finishing a 20-year sentence. So she probably got time served or didn't do the time. I don't know, but I need to know more.
Yeah, because you can't just, because I missed that part. I got that she went to jail and I got what she did, but then I'm like, okay, then what did you go? What was the prison
did you do time? Because you said you were supposed to do 20 years. Did you do some of them? Did you get off? Like, we need more backstory. And she said
it sounds like it's not like she got off. That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't know.
And if you did, I want to know. I want to meet the lawyer.
Right, because we gotta talk about.
Yeah, I need to meet the lawyer. I need the lawyer. I need to know, was it Veronica from the Haves and Have-Nots?
You know what? I'm so glad that show is over.
Because that's the only person I know that is capable of getting somebody off with actually following the law, which was crazy to me how that was written in that show. I was like, wait, that is a legit thing. Oh, Lord Jesus.
This cannot, y'all. Cannot. Oh. The ladies find out they're going to have a challenge with Rocky. Deb wants them to do a hip hop collab, which was smart. This is a big deal in R&B. MJB, Mary J. Blige, queen of hip hop and R&B, hip hop, soul, R&B, whatever the hell. Which is smart. They're going to basically write a hook for Rocky. Whichever hook Rocky likes the most is the woman who get the win. Everybody's saying they did great. I did feel like after hearing everyone's hook that the winners based on this challenge should have been Amber or Kim. Kim did win. I did like Kim's hook. And honestly, if you know how Rocky raps and the way her voice is, Ashley's voice is not for a rapper that has a voice like Rocky. And neither, who else is here? I feel like I'm forgetting somebody.
You're forgetting. Yeah.
They don't have the voices for that. They give me more radio ready, urban, today R&B. Kim and Amber have that soulful grittiness that works when you have a female
Right.
like Rocky that's got like that gritty like voice that lets you know she's been through something. So I did agree with Rocky's choice. Um, I was disappointed in Audrey. I feel like the last few episodes, Audrey's been struggling, pitchy. She's super talented. I just feel like the last few episodes, she hasn't done the best, you know, but I like her, but she just hasn't done the best the last few episodes. But back to the house. Now, after Rocky announces that Kim won the song, Kim calls Dacia or Deja, whatever the fuck her name is. Her mama can't spell, but she calls Deja or Dacia. I'm gonna just go back to Acorn Head. I was trying to be nice because Shani was like, I don't watch this show, but I come just to hear you say Acorn Head. And I was like, oh damn, do I really be like that, y'all? And then my husband was like, nah, babe, you talking shit. So I was like, I'm a nice person. Let me not call her Acorn Head, but she shouldn't go back to that hairstyle. She just shouldn't. She shouldn't. But Dacia says, I miss you. And I'm like, why are you calling her while still in the house, Kim? You don't got no friends at home you can talk to? A cousin? Boyfriend? Mr. Ernest from around the corner at the Ebenezer Baptist Church? I mean, why you have to call Dacia? She's half your age.
I'm not doing this with you today.
I mean, she said she didn't want to argue with AJ and acted like she couldn't talk to Ashley after disrespecting her because they was young enough to be her kids. Well, so is Deja. You calling her? She one of the kids? Why don't you call your actual kids, Kim? Make that right. I don't understand it. But Dacia says that she feels like Kim has been left in a prison. She feels like Kim has no support. And she also makes a comment that it's like you ain't got no support anyway, so don't let yourself, you know, deal with that. You may as well, if you're not feeling it, you may as well just leave. And Kim's dumbass fell into it. I said, how the fuck you how you gangster enough to stab your baby daddy? But you a following ass bitch. You don't have your own mind. She is a follower. Yes, I'm a Sesame Street kid. I was a kid of the 90s. I'm saying it. She is a follower and not a leader. Literally, down to her career, singing backup for gigs. Now, you following behind Dacia. Like, what? I don't understand it. And the reason I was mad about that is because it was like misery loves company, y'all. Like, honest to God, Dacia saying that was the example of misery loves company. She is so mad that she was sent home, that she is texting Audrey, texting women in the house, doing all of this. Baby, if you're successful and being sent home is not a big deal, then promote your music. Because like I said, I looked into her social media. She's talented. She's got a great voice, but her attitude is the nastiest thing, and it's hard to get past. Just because you got sent home doesn't mean you call the show to hate on other people and convince them to go home because you're miserable that you got sent, because you got caught. When Dacia, you should have been sent the fuck home episode 2, but you got lucky. Miserable bitch. What's wrong with people from Baltimore? Krishan Rock and now this? What's in the water out there? What, like, I genuinely don't understand it. And I don't care, Dacia. She could come on here since I know some of the people on the show like to watch it. If y'all don't like what I got to say, I could give a flying fuck. I'm not trying to be a single. Y'all are. So there's that. The other thing is we going to call a spade a spade. You put yourself out there, people going to comment on it. Like, why did she act this way on this show, miserable acorn-headed ass bitch? I don't understand it. Who hurt you in your life that made you this way? Because I've been through some shit too. I've had some struggles and had to learn you can't cry over everything too. Since Dacia and Kim like to use their past struggles as a reason for their bad behavior and nasty attitudes. Everybody's been through something, but not everybody has a nasty, funky, hating ass, miserable fucking attitude. So I just hope that she figures that out. You're proving Miss Deb right also, Dacia, on why you were sent home. She sent you home because she wanted it to be less about the mess and more about the music. Here you are, gone. Not singing a song. I'm happy that you had on that head wrap, though, so I didn't have to see that acorn head. But I'm wondering, Why you couldn't just like promote your music or sing a song with Kim to remind us that you're talented instead of doing all of that? And then she sends the text to Audrey talking about, "Ah, you're a messy bitch and I've never." You're the only one, Dacia, keeping it going. Tara was sent home for being messy. She ain't hit nobody up. AJ was sent home. She ain't hit nobody up. The lady who was first sent home for being messy, she ain't hit nobody up. Just you. Tell us you mad without telling us you mad. And tell us you've been told your attitude is a problem, but you sing great without telling us. I can't stand it.
Child. I don't even know. I don't even know if I could even. I can't even go after you after that read. God damn.
It wasn't a read, it's the truth. Just
Girl, you
because for instance, you wrote a book. I used to tell James when younger, I've always considered writing a book because I did poems. Poetry is like my thing. He wrote a book. I'm not going to tell him when he used to call me like, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. It's very expensive. I'm hoping this book can come out. It's pricey. Well, maybe that's God telling you you shouldn't write no more books. What kind of hating ass shit? And that's essentially what Dacia did to Kim.
No, I agree with you. It's just like it's hard for me because I lost all my train of thought. I'm looking at my notes right now, thinking, okay, I can't even compete with that. But I will say this: no, you're absolutely right. It's really disheartening the fact that you would call her out of everyone in the world that you would call her, knowing that she probably is still mad about getting eliminated, knowing that she really don't see it for nobody. Deb, this is where I'm gonna call you and we TV out. We TV. I understand y'all need a drama factor on this kind of show because nothing else would sell. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, I don't need someone who thinks they're above their situation to then come into the situation could like just spread all kind of contention around the entire house where everybody is, calling out a spade, and then y'all keep this from us. And then when it gets revealed, then you want to act like, oh, well, you know what? She can sing, she can do this, she can do that. She got the feature with the rapper. It's like, yes, she got that, but did she get it on her own talent? We're saying yes, she did because it was actually really good. But did she really get it on her own talent, or did she get it because she has a leg up with Dead? And see, and that's the thing we all have to kind of take in consideration. Anything she gets from this point, we know it's because she has a leg up with Deb because she said it out her own mouth.
That's probably why they had such negative energy and were so intimidated by someone saying, I'm high functioning autistic. If she was low functioning autistic, I don't think that girl would be there or a threat because it reflects differently. But to be high functioning autistic, you pretty much like the rest of us. I'm just keeping it a book. You really are. You're no different from the rest of us. You have this thing, but you've learned the tools to overcome it, and you have the ability to know to use and call on those tools. So right. I think that's why they were intimidated, or especially Kim, by that. But after that phone call, y'all, Kim claims that she was put onto a gospel show. She said a name. She said it so quick I didn't catch it. But she says that she's just not passionate about R&B the way that she is with gospel, which I agree. I think we can all see it just based on how she barely wanted to sing a little note. And in her audition, she really struggled to sing the art. I think she got a song from Brandy or somebody, and she struggled. It's like, if you could sing like Kim, you should be able to sing anything. I think Kim has made herself too comfortable in gospel. Most gospel people say they want to sing gospel because their lives have changed. I think a good example of that is Coco from SWV. Mm-hmm. I'm a huge Coco fan. Shout out to my fellow Gemini. But she, I would say from years 2006 to about 20 before that SWV show came back on WeTV years and years ago. Coco had left SWV. They weren't performing like that. She went strictly into gospel and stuck there. There's been a couple of artists who've done that. Ruben Studdard. He went from Sorry 2004 to I'm Sorry I Love the Lord, and I'm not mad at him, and has had success. There's been Tevin Campbell. He switched over and went on in the gospel. Didn't work out for him for obvious reasons, but he did make the switch over. So when you go to gospel, I want to hear that it's because God has moved you. I am a Christian. I'm not going to give y'all a sermon, but I want to hear that you're doing it because that's what you feel called to do, because God is in your heart and because you want to help other people to have him in your heart. Something of that nature. Or it could be as simple as I just want to live my life right and for Christ and I don't want no drama, no crap. So I'm gonna sing for the Lord. It could be that. But Kim just seemed to be stuck in a genre. I don't feel like she's confident outside of gospel, which is unfortunate. Um, but Amber was right. Kim let Dacia get in her head. I don't think she has a gospel competition to go to. I just don't. I think that I think that Dacia got in Kim's head, and I think that Miss Deb, as James said, inviting her on the show without her finding it on her own, got into her head and her ego. I'm gonna say this, Kim. Good luck. And I have one name, Latasha Scott from Escape. You can want to go in the gospel all you want. I don't know if everybody here is familiar with the BET show that used to come on called Sunday Best. I used to love Sunday Best. And there is in the auditions a couple years back, there was a young woman that came on with one of the most beautiful and moving voices, moved me to tears from the TV. And they did not allow her to advance. And you probably know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And she kept it real. She was like, I've been struggling, y'all. I was out last night. I was partying in the club, but, I'm trying to get my life right. So I still showed up. That lady killed it. And they said, I'm sorry, you can't be in the club and then expect to also be a gospel artist. So that is what I mean by there's differences in acceptance of behavior over there. If a gospel artist was to watch this show and to be a judge for Kim on the other, I don't know. Because they would need to know, did you stab your baby daddy in the name of the Lord? Or did you, we need to know, some things and then how she acted. So if you want to be in gospel, Kim, do it. Stay there, stay off of reality TV, fix the hate in your heart, and go from there. That's what I'll say. Before we move forward from Kim, almost called you Jim James. What the hell? James.
I was gonna say, girl, look, I don't know where you going with that.
I don't even know anyone named Jim. So
listen, no, you sound like you was gonna call me Jim Jones, and I was gonna be like,
I would never do that.
I can't even call you Mrs. Best. I had to like, where did that even come from? Why would you call me that? So, but anyways, y'all, what was you gonna ask me? Sorry.
This has been an interesting live. Apparently, me and James need to do lives more on Saturdays, just chatting because it's been fun.
Can. I ain't doing that on no Saturday.
I'll be scared, y'all. I'm hella shy. TV, it worked because I got notes on. You can't see my phone because of this damn filter, but I got notes on my phone. Talking about other stuff, I don't know why, and James knows this. It's a big deal for me to be on YouTube. I was extremely quiet in high school. I'm still extremely quiet if you meet me in person. I am one of the shyest humans.
You would never think. You would never think that being on this YouTube, because I rewatch her videos all the time. I'm literally in the grocery store laughing because she be saying the most outlandish things, but I'm knowing as her friend of almost 20 years that she is extremely shy and extremely not is talkative and and just really just listens. She doesn't even speak. So it's kind of to see this, it's kind of whoa, where is my friend? She there because we have these conversations all the time. Me and her stay on the phone. We stay talking. We stay texting. We stay doing voice notes on text messages with each other. Always talking. It is we come on YouTube. It's yeah, this is not her. This is truly Mrs. Best. This is truly the alter ego Mrs. Best.
It really is. It is. Just remember, y'all, I'm reading people for filth, but I work in mental health. I'll help you through your depression, too. Oh, not my mother-in-law. Just don't get her back.
I don't think she's ever been mad at me.
You don't do stupid things.
And vice versa. I've never been mad at her. I don't have it in me. I just don't. Here's the thing. I'm one of those that quote that you don't shit where you eat kind of situation.
Oh, that's good.
That's kind of how I look at her. I'm not going to do nothing intentionally to hurt my friend or bother her or get on her nerves unless it's something that is personally struggling with me where I can't help it. It's well, look, you just have to be mad at me because I'm in this. Well, look, but it's just But no, we've never been mad at each other. I don't think in our entire friendship we've ever been mad at
That's
each
what
other.
my husband be like. Josiah be like, only nigga ain't pissed you off is James. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, and she's
Actually,
never.
that's
She
right.
is. Yeah, honestly, you've never pissed me off. Like we've never like, and we know all of our secrets. Like I tell her even some shit she don't even need to be knowing. She know. And I'm like, yeah, that's Amina. I was telling Gio the other day. I was telling him about something, and he goes, "You telling Amina that?" And I'm like, "Yes." I
We
tell
know
Amina
my
that.
business too. All of
Like,
it.
yes,
That's why
like.
Josiah was like, I gotta meet James. I don't know how he gonna feel about me. I said, Josiah, it's okay. Sorry.
Look, I know more than I need to. Trust me, you good, bro.
Kathy says she is opinionated. You are too. Fun fact, your son, he's always like, that's why I liked you, because my mom is like that. He always says, Josiah says, my mom is the nicest person ever, but don't get her mad. And she'll never bother anyone. She really is the sweetest lady ever, but just don't play with her. Don't play with her.
My
Leave
mom
her
said
alone.
that too. My mom is like one of those people. Like she is the sweetest thing, but my mom, when you get her mad, you can forget about it. You're
Let it be.
done. Yeah, let it
She's a
be.
Taurus. My mother-in-law. She's a Taurus.
Yeah, that's how most
Leave
Tauruses are.
Tauruses
Yes,
alone when
yes.
they
Leave
are
us
mad.
alone. Like leave us
They
alone.
really
We
don't
are
bother
fine.
nobody.
We don't bother nobody. Yes, we're stubborn, but I'm aware of my stuff. I was just telling you, I'm aware of my stubbornness. I know that I'm stubborn because we're talking about my sister, and I was like, because my sister's a Taurus as well. So it was like, yeah, we have a house full of Tauruses. My poor brother, because he's the only Scorpio. But we have a house full of Taurus. It's like we get each other and we know not to intercept with each other. Like I can't live with my mom. And I can't live with my sister. Because when he asked why my sister can live with me, I said, because I would kill her at the end of the day. So that's why I'm like, no, we can't live together. We're fine being apart. We're fine being at our own places and we see each other when we see each other. My mom was like, you don't never come over. I said, because mama, look, there's not so much I could take. But I told my mom I would come over tomorrow and spend the day with her. But
My grandmother called me for the first time in like a year. She's not like a caller. And
mm-hmm.
all she wanted to ask about was my husband. I was just kind of like,
Ask him for what?
she loves my husband. Has always
Oh,
loved
okay.
my husband. She like his mama.
That's how my grandmother is with Gio. She loves her some
I'm
Gio.
like,
I'm like,
but she don't call to say hi to me. Like
my
ever.
grandmother, no, my grandmother wants to. This is what my grandmother do. She'll call me, ask how I'm doing, especially with me being injured. She goes, "How you doing, baby? Everything good? How Gio doing?" I'm like,
Yes. Oh, baby. She says nothing but God that got you there. How's my grandson? I'm like, don't even talk to him, but just be wanting to know about him. Then when he's around
"Oh,
and he eats it up, his eyes get wide. He just be like,
it's my grandma and my aunt. Oh, my aunt in Oakland loves. Oh my gosh, she said he is so cute, and she get to hug and all shit. Oh, he smells so good. I'm like, girl.
he did smell good. I thought that
Anyway,
he did smell pretty good. I was like, damn. And he came dressed. I was like, damn, I showed up in some glasses and a
girl, I
dress
tell
off his
you, he
feet.
be getting on me because I don't like to dress up in Phoenix. I don't. In Florida, I was different, but here I don't. He be like, James, why do you have
It's
what's up
too
in?
hot to be
I'm
making
trying.
a
I be
fucking
telling him,
fashion statement
like,
in
look,
Arizona.
okay, for real, thank you, because I be like, look, I'm injured. I'm already hot.
I
I ain't got
came
time for
to
that.
Arizona, y'all. Had hella cute outfits packed. Ended
And
up wearing shorts and flip flops.
then wear not a one of them. I saw them. Didn't wear not a. Well, I think
Just hot.
you were two out of the what 7 that you had.
I thought I was gonna die. That's the first time I've
Yeah.
gone to the club in some shorts. It was. I had a time. I still don't remember parts of that night. So thank you to you and
You don't.
Bumblebee for chugging us in the back seat of your car.
I just reposted
I
that car
saw.
on Facebook. I miss that car so much. I think I'm gonna rebuy it again. I'm gonna rebuy it probably in a couple of years, not next year because I thought I was gonna do it next year.
Kathy said he missed that granny love. That's your fault. He's hell of affectionate. My husband's family is affectionate. They are huggers. They say I love you. They are affectionate. I did not grow up like that. That's the one thing. Like I did not grow up like
Oh.
that. So I'm always like, he kind of
See,
taught me.
okay, here's the thing. My mother's side is not affectionate, but my father's side is.
Oh,
So I have both. Like I can adapt. So Gio's not affectionate at all. So it's like I cannot be
really?
affectionate. No, he's not.
Seems just snuggly. I don't know why.
He was in the beginning. I don't know what the fuck happened, but and he's really good at it. Like when he really wants, like when I tell you, he is extremely good at it, but he's not naturally. Like he has to be in the mood. He never in that mood. So
That's me. My
it's
husband
like
complains
it's like
often.
God damn it, fuck. And that's what I wanted. And then I said he fooled me in the beginning. I tell you, he fooled me in the beginning because he was very rough. And I was like, oh, I like it.
Not you like
Went
the
away.
rough shit. Oh, nasty.
It went away. It wasn't what 2 3 months. It went away. He
Oh,
said
hell.
he said this is who I am, and I'm like, oh shit.
That
Of
was
course I
me.
would.
My
Of
husband
course.
was very confused because what does Leona say? That's a friend of ours. For those who don't know, she's always like, Amina is the nicest person ever. She will give you the shirt off her back, but don't hug her, and she might have a resting bitch face. I'll be like,
You weren't like that when you hugged me. I don't know what it was about me, but
I
she
like
wasn't like that with
you.
me. Yeah, she hugged me. That was no problem. Like we had our friendships like welcome me, hey friend. Like it was just like that. But no, she is right though. Amina's not a hugger. She's not affectionate. She don't like
People be musty, and it's really that simple.
I
Like, just, I'm keeping it real. I done gone and hugged people like, oh my God, it's nice to see you, baby. I'll be like, hey, how you doing? Oh, motherfucker. And that's why I keep Dove deodorant spray in my purse. I
It's
do.
funny you said that. I just was watching a video of somebody on the New York subway, and they had the spray, and they sprayed it under someone's arm, and she got mad.
No, but I'm slick with it. I'm smart. You know what I'm saying? Like I get the little, like you not gonna know you got sprayed. You gonna think that, and I'll twirl around and act like I was spraying myself too. I just bless somebody
Oh,
else not having to smell it.
yeah.
Let
Oh,
me
man.
get to the last
Where's the
show.
we at the last scene?
Okay.
Okay.
All that really happens, Miss Deb comes in the house angry as hell, looking like Mr. Sluffenluffagus off of Sesame Street. And Miss Deb, please stop wearing these things. Why were you in pink, hot pink, with a furry, bright orange, prison orange standard hat? And Miss Deb, just wear Walker's Dro clothing line. Just do that. But Miss Deb is pissed off. She feels like Kim took a spot from somebody else. She said, you were wrong to stay here for so long knowing you didn't want to be here. That's what you get, Miss Deb. You don't get to be mad in this situation. The only
I was
people
gonna
who get
say
to be
that.
upset about Kim leaving are Ashley, AJ, Tara M, Tara E, Dacia, and Devin, whoever else got sent home. The participants that actually were here, regardless on if they were messy or not. The people who were here to sing and wanted to make it, they are the people who get to be mad. We don't give a fuck if you're mad, Miss Deb. When's the last time you got an artist that's had a #1 hit? Or the artists that you listed when you worked with them, did they have those hits before or after you? Miss Deb, stop fronting. Stop bringing people on this goddamn show trying to make them skip steps because you personally like them. This lady sang you a gospel song, my favorite gospel song, His Eye is on the Sparrow. So if somebody sing that real good on the internet and I'm a label exec, I'm going to put them on an R&B show. Allow them to skip steps and take the place from somebody else. How dare Miss Deb try to turn that around on Kim and say, you could have left that for someone who wanted it. No, that was your job. You're the boss, not her. She did what the fuck she was allowed to do. She's wrong for leaving, but I mean,
No, she's wrong for even coming on the show in regards to agreeing to it, but you never know how Deb brought this to her. So it's one of those situations where like I can't really get mad at her because I don't know how Deb brought this to her. I don't know how Deb, presented this opportunity to her. So we don't know. But what I do know is Deb, you knew that she didn't do R&B and you knew that she wouldn't be a good fit in this house. So how dare you get mad at anything but yourself for thinking that she was in the wrong for leaving this opportunity? Because no, she had a great reason to leave. This is not the realm for her. This is not for her. This is for someone else. And yes, and I agree with Mrs. Best. The other ladies who got eliminated should be the ones that should be mad because at the end of the day, they could have had her spot. So
especially Tara M, Bald Tara, shout out
right.
to LGBTQ. I thought she represented the community beautifully. Ashley too. But Tara could sing, and I feel like she was sent home because she was nervous having to sing in the studio with Cisco, and she really didn't sound that bad to me, but you could hear the nerves. I feel like she was someone on the show who like definitely deserves justice and was sent home too soon. She could have been in the same space as Kim, and that upsets me. I hope that she is thriving and doing well and succeeding in everything that is there for her, but I'm over it. I don't know where we go from here. I thought this would be the last episode, James. Genuinely, I did. I thought Rocky would come and that would be part of the finale, but we know they're going to have a ball, like an actual ball, not like a ball like turn up, but like an actual ball.
No, I saw it. Yeah, and it's like, Deb, where are you going with this show? Like, where are you going? Like, but that's what she get. Honestly, that's what Deb get because you can't do that to people. You can't just, force them, you can't force a triangle into a circle. You just can't do it. You can't, it just annoys, she annoys me because I want Week TV to put restrictions on Deb's contract. Like, I want them to, get hiring a casting director, hire, people that, will actually put perspective into the show and actually use the show for what it's supposed to be for, which is granted somebody who has to showcase talent in the genre of what it is to actually have a chance, not put someone in the house full of a whole bunch of other women and her be the standout, her walking around with the stank attitude that she is the standout, and then it being revealed in the middle of the show, like what happened first season. Like, she has a habit of doing this.
Yeah, Miss Deb does the same thing show after show, even on Love After Hip Hop with Johnny Blaze, Brandon Barnes, artists that she was trying to do something for, but really couldn't get anything done for. I'm not saying that Miss Deb hasn't had success and has not done great things for people's careers, but I don't think she's going to do it again. I don't quite think she knows what she's doing. I think she got lucky and has succeeded off of that and maintained her business as well, and also has a very wealthy son that is helpful as well. But she definitely needs help. WeTV needs to take control of this show, pay the money out to people that need it, properly promo this show and advertise it. They should have been advertising this show the way that I think Bravo's a great example. We learn about the housewives and see trailers and they start to advertise it months before the actual show airs, which is necessary to do. You have to let people know this show just kind of came on TV randomly after Mama June ended. And I feel like it was just a placeholder until we wait for the Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, Love During Lockup, which y'all, I know I said I would be back to cover that show. I'll probably try again next season. The show has 90-minute episodes. That is a lot for a recapper. Please back me up on that, James. That is
absolutely. Let me tell you something. A show that is an hour is a lot. So I can only imagine a 90-minute show. Like my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, that episode was an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, they go to 110, 120, 130.
Yeah, and that was a struggle for me. Yeah. To do that because I know I missed out on certain things because y'all are the first to call it out. What about this? What about that?
But it's understandable because whenever I do shows like that, there's always something that is missed. I will do Love During Lockup because those are just 60-minute episodes, which come out to like 40 minutes after commercials. But
the thing about it is that y'all have to understand with YouTube, the engagement theory is that a video shouldn't be longer than 3 minutes. That's what YouTube is telling us, is that if you want rules of engagement, the average person, average viewer clicks off your video within 3 minutes. So if you have 10 people, that means 7 of them are leaving by the 3-minute mark and only 3 are engaged. So it's one of those situations where we try to minimize it as much as we can. So if something is not worth talking about, we're not going to talk about it. And if something miraculous happened on the show that really got our engagement, we spend a lot more time on that. And then on top of that, we have to make it funny. We have to make it entertainment. We have to, do certain voices, make sure y'all are here. It is hard. This is not for everybody. And I understand that even me doing it with my channel, because I don't do any videos without Mrs. Best. I don't. And the only reason why I do it is because 1, I need an accountability partner. And then 2, I need someone to feed off of. My personality is better when it's feeding off of someone else. That is how my entertainment,
It's good all by itself.
Yeah, it is. No, it really is. But I'm saying, as far as entertainment wise, and as far as me, being directive, it's kind of better when I have someone here with me versus me doing it by myself.
I agree. So, I do content alone with James and with other people sometimes, and I do prefer to do content with other people in general. It's
Yeah.
easier. And like you said, the accountability piece, because I wouldn't have been here if I didn't know I told him 11 a.m. at 7 a.m. So it works out. Y'all, but that's really it for today. I do want to encourage everybody, again, please see the link in the description of this video. I need to make a banner on the StreamYard for you guys to subscribe to James's channel. The link is in the description of every video that I do, even my music reactions. I know sometimes he's probably like, why am I being tagged in this? But his link is in every video. I will try and do a live once my shows start to go away, because Deb's house is going to go away. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is going to go away, but I'm sure Miami will come back. So I won't have too many shows. So I'll probably replace it with like a weekend podcast just discussing stuff with James and Shayna. And maybe Mr. Best, since he be peeking in like he want to be on YouTube, but he's scared. But yeah, that's really it for today. Tomorrow on James's channel, I will allow him to explain it to you because he'll do it better than me because my memory sucks.
No, it's okay. Tomorrow I have Heart and Hustle Houston, which, you know, the cast members of that show are fully engaged on that. Road was actually on the live and was commenting in there. So we love that. So I'm going to continue to do can I speak right now? Continue to do that show. And then also I'm going to go and cover the Real Housewives of Miami reunion looks for Mrs. Best, because that's something I do for every housewife franchise. So I'm going to cover the reunion looks, and then we're going to do a little Braxton TV talk because the trailer just got released this week, and I have not talked about it, but I've watched other people talk about it, and I'm kind of in disagreement with everybody right now. I really am. So we're going to talk about it on my channel tomorrow of why I'm in disagreement. Me and Mrs. Best see eye to eye on this, but apparently all the other, you know, YouTubers who cover that show have not seen.
I encourage everyone that watches the Braxton to drop your existing negative bias against Tamar and then look through it from a lens that is unscathed, because you will have a totally different opinion.
Yes. Yes.
People always try to make the person who was giving the truth out to be the problem. This is a fact of life, and especially in family. So I'm curious to see how that will go. Shani, I didn't want to ignore you before we went. I'm happy that you made it in. I'm happy, and I'm happy you working, girl. Get it done. Get that work done. You in New York, absolutely. I know y'all work hard.
Yeah, y'all sure do.
They work harder than all of us.
And I'm gonna try. It's been a minute since I did a video with Shayna, so I'm gonna get the three of us back together again so we can do. I don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Shayna is still telling me, girl, you need to talk about your relationship live. Stop being scary, Mrs. Best. I love Shayna.
Oh, yes. Why don't you do that? Why don't you put together a relationship live? It could just be us. We don't have to bring our partners yet.
No, Shayna, I don't mind bringing her in. Oh, he scared me. There's somebody behind me. Y'all can't see though. But yeah, I might. Maybe I'll just say F it and do it. May as well.
You might as well just go ahead and do it, because it's great to get all of our perspectives of, like, you know, you being married, me being engaged, Shayna's I think engaged too, and like we, you know, have a lot of questions for the married person of the group versus the not married person of the group.
Oh Lord, that should be fun. Well, fuck it, I'll do one. What day? Should I do it on Saturday?
I don't have much to do these days, as I'm at home recovering from major surgery.
Shani says she want to be there for the live. I'm considering, you know what? I'll put a poll on my community page. I'm either going to do the live on a Friday or probably a weekday, just to get everybody there. Because I do want several different perspectives. So that'll be fun.
Okay. That'll be
I will
fun.
put it up in my community tab when we do it. Please subscribe to James's channel. Lots of lives there tomorrow. Other than that, I will give everybody back their Saturdays. I thank you for watching us. Shout out to the replay gang. We'll see you next time.
See ya.